Tom Herman have Texas on the right track. We'll also be checking in on a Texas X next on College Crossfire.
I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cohen Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
That's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out.
Good evening and welcome into College Crossfire. I'm your host, Mark Skoll Jr. Glad you are joining us on your Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and meet our panel. To my left, it's the woman with so many wins on College Crossfire,
Thank
Katarina
you, Mark.
Biancardi. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing so well tonight, Mark.
Glad to have you on, Kat.
Thanks.
The man in the middle, Luke, Mr. Golf Hendry.
That's
Glad
right.
to have you on.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be on.
It's going to be a good show. Matthew Adams, he couldn't stay away from us for more than a week. He's back. Why you back this week? I thought you were done.
You know, y'all just keep asking me to come back, so might as well keep showing up.
Well, we're all glad that you're here, and we're glad that it's Wednesday night and it's time for College Crossfire. Let's get into it. Texas went into Los Angeles as a 17-point underdog to the number 4 ranked USC Trojans and put up quite the fight. Texas had the lead with 45 seconds left, but lost in double overtime. The defense did a pretty good job shutting down Heisman hopeful quarterback Sam Darnold, while Texas might have found its quarterback of the future. Did the Longhorns' performance against USC prove Texas is over the hump? Katarina, we'll start with you.
Well, Mark, first off, I'm going to tell you Texas is not back, but they are, in fact, over this hump. The reason why Texas is over the hump is because the defensive performance that they gave was outstanding. This really showed that they are really able to compete against ranked opponents like USC. Between stopping 3 fourth-down conversions at absolutely critical moments of the time, that was huge for Texas. Along with 18 Longhorns had registered tackles, including Anthony Willier and Malik Jefferson, so that was huge. And a lot of the things that happened ended up being mistakes that can be learned only in game situations. We had a true freshman quarterback out there, y'all, and that had to be, those mistakes made by him are going to be easily fixed and moving forward. So I honestly think that they are over the hump, but you know, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to fully get back on track. But this loss was nearly pulled off to a victory, but it was just huge for them just in general to get their momentum back and just get them on track.
Yeah, the loss, while they did lose the game, it seemed like a great game, and it seemed like Texas is definitely trending in the right direction. Luke, what about you?
I'm going to disagree, actually. I think there's no doubt that Texas was encouraging to fans and so many people who follow Texas athletics, in particular football. The defense played harder than I've seen in 3 seasons, but to say they're quote-unquote back or over the hump, I just don't think so. I can't buy in just yet. You look a year ago, they beat Notre Dame, and all of a sudden they were ranked 11th in the nation. They weren't back. They went 5-7. 2 seasons ago, they beat Oklahoma. They were over the quote-unquote hump. They went 5-7. So I think for this Texas team to prove that they're over the hump, it starts next week in Ames against Iowa State. And if they can prove against Iowa State and play as hard as they did at the Coliseum, they may be over that hump.
I agree with you completely. I think that Iowa State game is going to be huge, considering the last time they were in Ames, they got shut out, and that was when Gerard Hurd was the quarterback. I don't believe they had one play in the Iowa State side of the field. So, Matt, what about you? You were at the Coliseum.
I was at the Coliseum.
Texas over the hump.
Texas is almost back.
Okay.
I say that. The defense, I could not be more proud of what that defense did out there. When they had back-to-back fourth-down stops, that really showed this defense is much different. Todd Orlando, he's worth that 7 figures as of right now. The problem is offensively, they just don't have anything going still, really. They haven't established a run game. They're having questions on the offensive line. The quarterback, as much as people want it to be Sam, that's up for debate. So offensively, they still have a lot of work to figure out there.
I like the point about the running backs, only 9 carries for the Texas running backs, and that can't happen if you're trying to win ball games. I'm going to have to go with Luke, though. I don't think Texas is over the hump yet. I mean, you gotta go out and play Iowa State well next Thursday night, and I think if they do that and they dominate, then we can start getting in that discussion a little bit more. But Luke's getting the point to start us out. Possibly the biggest debate, though, from the USC game has been the quarterback controversy. True freshman quarterback Sam Ehlinger starting the game at quarterback while head coach Tom Herman said sophomore Shane Buechele was available to play. But Ehlinger, he had 4 turnovers and almost led Texas to that unforgettable comeback win. But Herman said Buechele will get the bulk of the first-team reps in practice this week. Guys, Texas has 2 viable options at quarterback, but who should be starting at quarterback for the Longhorns? Luke?
Mark, I'm going to start off with just defining what a great quarterback is. They're a fighter, they play tough, they're a leader, and quite frankly, I'm referring to Sam Ehlinger, and he is mature, he's young, and I think he brings something to the table that Shane Buechele does not. We've seen what Buechele can do. He's 5-8 as a starting quarterback at Texas. I wish one of our colleagues here at TSTV was at least in master control to hear this, because he simply isn't getting it done. He's 0-4, and I do feel bad for Buechele because he's been nothing but a good quarterback at Texas. But is he a guy who can go and win Big 12 championships and potentially 2 or 3 years from now win a national championship? How dare I say it? I see that in Sam Ehlinger, and I think that if Texas wants to end the quarterback controversy, why not do it with the guy who went into the LA Coliseum in his first road game as a starting quarterback at 18 years old and made a 91-yard drive in the 4th quarter? Why not go with a guy who has that momentum and can build on it throughout this season?
Yeah, that was unbelievable drive, and everyone talks about Shane Buechele's first game against Notre Dame. Everyone thought, oh, we've got our quarterback for the future, but then Notre Dame ends up winning 4 games last year, so it's a lot different, and it seems like USC is definitely a team that's going to be contending this season. Matt, what about you? Who should start at quarterback?
Having been out there, you have to say it's Sam Ehlinger. The idea, I didn't buy into it with San Jose State. San Jose State is just not a caliber team. It's the same as USC. You see Sam go out there, there were 2 things. He didn't have the prettiest game by any stretch, but when it counted the most, he was right there. And to see the way his team responded, not only responded, but after the game, there was so much confidence when they talked about Sam. I haven't seen that from a Texas team when they've talked about a quarterback in a long time. I never heard that with David Ash. Certainly never heard it with Tyrone Swoop. It goes back to Colt McCoy. And the fact that he has that much, the team has that much confidence in Sam Ehlinger, the coaching staff has this much confidence. The fact that Shane was cleared to play and they still went with Ehlinger, he's the quarterback here.
I agree with you. I mean, going back to that drive, I mean, it seems like he has all the intangibles that Shane doesn't. Shane might have a prettier throw right now, but Sam definitely seems like he's got that leadership, that rah-rah attitude that you need a quarterback to have to be successful. Katarina, what about you? Who should start?
I'm going to have to say bye Buechele and hello Sam the man. I agree with both of my colleagues here on the points they made. I do have to also say that along with that drive that he made, you know, Coach Herman said that was some grown-up football made by Sam, and that's huge to say the least. And just like Matt said, you know, the fact that Shane was available to play and Sam did, that just says a lot about him. And I think if Shane went out there and took the hits that Sam did, he would not have made it the game at all. He would not have made it through. Sam is just tough, just like Luke said. One of the characteristics of a quarterback is being tough, and that is what Sam embodies way over Shane Buechele.
I completely agree. I'm on the Sam train. I'm on the Sam Bagwin. To be fair to Shane, though, he did have a decent season for a true freshman quarterback. Broke all those Texas records, so he's still a good option. But I definitely think Sam is the guy for the future. All right, guys, everyone's getting the point. I liked all the points. I think Sam's the guy. I'm excited about him. I hope he's starting Thursday against Iowa State. But moving on, Texas left tackle Connor Williams will have surgery on a meniscus tear and is out for an undisclosed time period. But on the bright side, the often criticized Malik Jefferson finally performed like an All-American, which is more significant in the long run for Texas. Losing Williams, who is thought to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, or gaining Malik Jefferson, who seems to be finally maximizing his potential. Matt, you're going to get us going on this one.
I got to say the bigger thing is losing Connor Williams. The fact that Malik came out, you know, even though he's had a rough stretch, he still had moments where you're like, well, he's going to come out. This defense showed a lot of depth this Saturday. with Anthony Wheeler. You had Charles Omenihu on the edge. There are answers on this defense aside from Malik Jefferson. You lose Connor Williams, and your offensive line falls apart. There was, Tristan Nicholson cannot move into Connor's position. Denzel Okafor is an okay guy right now, but overall this offensive line is weak. And especially since they were supposed to be a strength of this team, that's very alarming, losing Connor Williams going forward, whoever's quarterbacking and however you're going to establish this run game.
I completely agree with you. I think it all starts up front for the offensive line. But Katarina, what about you?
I'm actually going to disagree with you, Matt, and the reason why is because defense wins championship. I just really think that if the defense didn't perform the way they did, and that the level that Malik actually performed at, Texas would not have came out with an almost upset against USC.
Yeah, Malik was amazing. 11 tackles, second on the team behind Anthony Wheeler. But I think we're finally seeing the Malik Jefferson we thought he would be freshman year. Yeah. Luke, what about you?
I'm agreeing with Matt here. Losing Connor Williams is way more significant for this Texas program. Malik Jefferson's always been a good linebacker, and for him to play at his best does strengthen the defense. But the weakest unit for the Longhorns is that offensive line. Now you lose the best offensive lineman of that front five. Tope Amada is actually moving from defense to offense because they're so weak in the offensive line unit, and that is a huge loss. When the one guy who's bringing NFL prospects to practice is Connor Williams, and now he's out for arguably the season, that's going to be rough for Texas.
I'm agreeing with the two guys here on the offensive line. Sorry,
it's all
Kat.
right. No, it's all right. I wanted to get a little debate here. It's Crossfire.
No, I like the debate, but I agree. I mean, when you lose a guy like Pat Hudson 2 weeks ago in San Jose State.
Avar lost Elisha Rodriguez.
Terrible on the offensive line. They're going to have to burn it. They're going to have to burn a red shirt.
And the thing about it, too, going forward with, talking about this whole Malik coming out, that secondary did a phenomenal job shutting down
Elliott,
Burnett and
Brandon
Mitchell
Jones had a nice
to limit options
off-field
for
tackle,
Darnold.
too.
So.
Yeah, I like all the points, but you guys are getting the points. We're going into the break. We're talking Big 12 conference play and a little bit about a Texas X coming up next. Welcome back in the College Crossfire, your home for live sports debate on the 40 acres. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Katarina Biancardi with 1. Luke Henry swept it away with 3. Matt, he's got 2 there on the end. Still plenty of time left before, so Katarina, you got some time to catch up.
Thank you.
But we're talking Texas still here on College Crossfire. The Rose Bowl rematch was just phenomenal. Double overtime, possibly the quarterback of the future suiting up for the Longhorns, and it just had a bowl game feel to it. Where does this game rank of all the Texas games in our lifetime? Katarina?
Well, 2006 Rose Bowl will always be king, but I do have to say that this is going to go above the Notre Dame game, and the reason why that I say that is because Notre Dame ended up not being a contender in the college football scene like they were supposed to last year. USC definitely is, so we're going to have to put this one at number 4 in terms of our other games that we've had besides Notre Dame in the past year. What? Why are you giving me that look? He gave us the list of options for the
So even though the loss, you're having it behind or ahead of Notre Dame?
Oh, it's ahead of Notre Dame for sure.
Okay.
Even because it didn't mean anything. We're talking about meaning.
We don't know if it means anything yet. We hope it means something, but we don't know yet.
I'm gonna believe that it means something.
All right, Luke, what about you? Where does that game rank?
This game is not significant really at all. I mean, it was a good college football game. Went to double overtime. You love seeing that. It made good television. I think it was 1.9 million viewers saw it. So it was a good football game. But as far as being a top Texas football significant game, not at all. Not with 2 national championships in the last decade, Crabtree catch. There's too many good games out there.
I agree. I mean, it was still a good game.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
we have to wait and see where this one by the end of the season where this, because that might be the signature game in Tom Herman's first season. Matt, what about you?
For me, if I've got to rank this, I'd put it at number 5, right at number 5. I put the last A&M game at 4. I put Crabtree at 3. I put Texas OU 2008 at number 2. And the Rose Bowl is the first one. Oh, Shipley's kickoff return. That was a phenomenal game. This was a great game. I put it above Notre Dame just simply because of what Kat said, the significance of the game. USC should be a contender, so that's why I'm squeezing it in there at 5.
Matt, I'm going to go with you on this one just because you rattled off the A&M game. That was, oh my gosh, one of the best games.
Oh,
ever.
truly
Craig
one of
Way's
the best.
call on that was
Oh,
phenomenal.
Craig
Justin
was
Tucker.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Final play of the rivalry. What a game. So Matt's getting the point there. We're heading into the Texas bye week, but Big 12 play is underway. Baylor taking on number 3 Oklahoma this weekend. And number 6 Oklahoma State is taking on the number 16 ranked TCU Horned Frogs. That's 3 teams in the top 16 from the Big 12, but which team do you think is the best team in the Big 12? Luke, we're starting with you.
It's Oklahoma, hands down. It pains me to say it, but Baker Mayfield is a tremendous quarterback. He's versatile. He can make plays beyond the raw athleticism. He's a leader. I think him, along with the entire Sooner team, has bought into Lincoln Riley's system, and I think they're rightfully ranked in the top 4. I think they're 3rd actually right now in the college football playoff rankings. They are deservingly so. I think they'll end up winning the Big 12 championship, and then I think they'll contend for a national championship in January.
Definitely, it stinks seeing a guy who was just in our backyard at Lake Travis High School who could
Yep.
be the quarterback for the Longhorns.
Missing out
Yep.
on Austin prospects.
But yeah, he looks really good. I might say that Ohio State, maybe they're not that good as we think, because they lost a bunch of guys in the secondary to the draft this year, but I think
Still an
Oklahoma's
Urban Meyer coach.
Yeah,
still
very
an
much.
Urban Meyer coach team, still a team that's probably going to be in conversation for the playoff, even with that early loss, Matt.
Yeah, right now you got to go with Oklahoma. The fact that they have Baker Mayfield, who's probably the best quarterback in the Big 12, having watched him the last couple of years up close, this is by far some of the best football I've seen from him. The defense is more explosive. They're flying all over the field. The last time Oklahoma really saw a resurgence was those first few years under Bob Stoops, and you could see what he did during that time. This team under Lincoln Riley is doing a very similar thing right now, and it's dangerous for the Big 12.
It's dangerous, and they don't even have their running back
No.
last year either. So might as well Peter on
and Baker Mayfield's
Mixon.
top wide receiver is a true freshman.
Yeah, it's unbelievable
Oh.
what they're doing right now. What about you?
Unfortunately, I have to agree with my colleagues over here again for this one. OU is at the top of the Big 12. There's nothing you can really do about that. Baker Mayfield, he's a Heisman contender. He is explosive. And I have to disagree with you a little bit, Mark. I think Ohio State will always be in that conversation for the college football playoff. And I think that win was huge to be able to go win that in Columbus at the Horseshoe. Big win for Oklahoma. And I think they're going to be at the top of the Big 12 all the way going forward. And unfortunately, they're going to even beat us.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably.
I just want to say I would have given the point to whoever said Oklahoma State because I think they can beat Oklahoma this year. Just because I don't think Ohio State. Mason Rudolph looks amazing,
Yeah,
and
he does.
they still have all their pieces. It looks like Oklahoma lost a bunch of theirs. And I just don't
OSU
think Ohio State's that great this year. But I'll give you guys all the point. I still think Oklahoma, you're the best until you're beaten. So everyone's getting the point there. Moving on. Kevin Durant has been in the news this week, not for his basketball abilities, but for his tweeting. Durant has an account not under his name where he defends himself on Twitter. But here's the catch. He forgot to log out of his real account and tweeted critical things of Oklahoma City coach Billy Donovan and pretty much every player not named Russell Westbrook. Durant apologized for his actions and defending himself with another account. But the question is this: is there any defense for having a player having this kind of account?
Well, before I get into that, I'm going to take the Herm Edwards approach. Don't hit send! Now, aside from that, there's no reason he should have a fake account. I know Coach K has finally come out and said, well, he does have a fake account. But if we're wanting these players to be transparent and we expect members of the media and other professions to be transparent, athletes have to be the same way. They can vent within their locker room or do whatever, but if they want to vent to the public, that's fine, but they don't need to be doing that on a private account. It looks petty and just very childish.
Durant, he's an MVP, a finals MVP, a champion, and he's going out there and tweeting to guys who are probably at home, don't even have a job.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. Kat, what about you? What do you think about the whole situation?
Absolutely. It's completely childish, Mark. Completely childish and completely inappropriate. Kevin Durant, like you said, he's an accolade in basketball here. But the biggest thing is that he has people looking up to him. I like your point about the media, Matt, and how we ask them to be transparent. But I also think about you're a role model to kids. You're a role model in the field of basketball. And you need to act like that, you have something to care about versus just tweeting from your phone. Like, look how cowardly that is. I think that you lose respect from your colleagues, and I think you also just go to a therapist or something. Talk in the locker room, like Matt said. But even his teammates said that was they were really bewildered by his behavior. So I'm concerned for KD, honestly.
Yeah, I really like your comments about being a role model, because there's so many kids. I mean, we've got a jersey right up here with Durant's jersey, but there's so many kids I see all the time with the Kevin Durant jersey. I know my little brother wanted one at some point too. So it's just like, this is a guy who all these little kids look up to. And what does that say if he's going out and doing that? Luke, what about you?
I think I agree with that. Kevin Durant was outlandish in that action and posting through the fake account, and it backfired on him. But as far as being a professional athletics is the entertainment business, and you sign up for public spotlight. If you want to be controversial in the public, then expect criticism and take it like a professional. He didn't do that in a sense, and that's part of it, and that's part of why you make millions of dollars every single year. Is you sign up for the public spotlight. You're a public figure. You're a role model. I think he made a mistake with this one, but it's something that if you are going to make those controversial statements, I don't think there's any problem with that. But be able to take that criticism.
I agree with everyone's points, but I can't give everyone the point again, so I'm going to go with Kat, because I like the role model perspective and all these kids. I mean, what kind of example does this set for this younger generation? All right, guys, that's it for this block, but moving on, we got Rapid Fire coming up next. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to College Crossfire. It's heating up in here for some rapid fire. For those of you watching at home, each question in rapid fire is worth 2 points, so it's still anyone's game. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Katarina, let's see, you've got, what, 2?
I got 2.
Luke's got 4. Matt's got 4, so anyone's game going forward. All right, let's jump right into it. During the game, Texas-USC game, head coach Tom Herman was seen chomping down on a lot of bubble gum. He says it's sugar-free double bubble, and he has to have 7 pieces in his pocket before each half begins to help him unwind and calm the nerves down. The question is this: if you were the head coach at Texas, what are you having on the sideline to help you unwind and keep focused on the task at hand? It's rapid fire, so anyone can jump in here.
I gotta take a fidget spinner.
A fidget spinner?
I love having a football in my hand, but I don't think they would let me walk around with a football because the refs might get confused by that. So I'm gonna keep a fidget spinner and
a
just
fidget spinner?
Yeah.
Do you actually have a fidget spinner?
I do, yeah.
Really? I've never seen you.
I don't pull it out, but it's a Batman.
Next time, Batman.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow,
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna stick with the candy. Much respect for my guy Tom Herman.
But it's gonna no.
But I'm gonna go Skittles. I'm
Ooh.
a big
Oh,
Skittles
okay.
guy.
Ooh, I like it. I like
I'd
it.
have 1 or 2 Skittles packs per half, and that would.
Oh, I like it. I like
Per
it.
half, wow.
Sour Skittles or original?
I could change it up.
All right, I like it. I like it.
I'm more of an original.
I like it. I like
more
it.
of original.
Katarina, you got some tough.
All right, well, I'm going to have
Competition.
a little stuffed animal actually inside my pool over here. You know, a little bevo that had me hold on to. It's like a stress ball related kind of thing, but a little baby bevo just to, calm my nerves, stretch a little. And if I want to pet it like this, that might calm me down a little bit. But it's like the same feeling of when you're chomping gum going, Your hands do it too. Trust me, there is anxiety studies to show this. Absolutely. I'm all about the stuffed animals.
I have no idea how chewing on bubble gum is the same as petting a
It
stuffed
all
animal.
helps anxiety.
I don't see it either.
I'm going to go with Luke here. I'm a big fan of Skittles. I'm sure if Marshawn Lynch was on the sideline, he'd be sharing those with you as well. All right, guys, next question. Tailgating is oftentimes the best part of any NFL Sunday or college football Saturday, but the Jacksonville Jaguars fans took it to a whole new level. Before the game, they held a mayonnaise belly flop contest. Yeah, you heard that right. Mayonnaise belly flop contest. Pretty crazy, guys. So the question is this: what's one thing this crazy you would want to see at a Texas tailgate to get people fired up for some Texas football?
Electric Longhorn.
Electric Longhorn.
Go around.
Like a bull?
Yeah,
like
a bull.
Okay.
What?
It would be a longhorn, so that we
I
have.
thought you were like thinking like electric.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. We want to kill him.
That would be so fun though. Get tons of people going and get a little competition going. That would be
All right,
awesome.
I
Everybody
like
can hop
that.
on that, get a cowboy hat, nice
I can
belt
dig
buckle.
that. I can dig that. You guys got to
Absolutely.
compete with that.
I'm going to be real conservative here, real out of the ordinary for myself. But this one's kind of a shot at UT as a whole. But to charge for tailgate spots has got to go. Look at the SEC. That's real football tailgating. That should be implemented here at the University of Texas. So I just want to be a collective university and tailgate as a university.
I like that. Tailgating as a university. It seems like we don't
Yeah.
tailgate as much as a university.
Yeah.
We should.
Matt,
Yeah.
the signature tailgater, the guy who's always out there tailgating.
Yeah, I'm never out there tailgating.
What are you
So what are
talking
you
about?
talking about, Mark? No, you know, I wish I could get a boat in there, but that's kind of hard. So I'm gonna take a water slide in here. I
water
want a
slide.
water slide
Ooh.
to tailgate.
Early
Ooh.
September.
Yeah, early
Not
September and
bad.
August, even October. It's
Early
hot
September.
here.
It
Get
is.
people cooled
Oh
down.
man, I'm gonna go with the water slide because it's
Oh,
so
really?
it's so
We could get, like,
it's
water.
so I really do like
I
your
think
point.
the show
If
has
you had
something to
water,
Here's a question. Here's
If
how
you had
do
the
go to
water-
the game soaking wet?
All right, there we
you bring
go.
you
Thank
bring
you.
a change of
So you gotta
clothes.
change
Yeah,
clothes.
man.
But no, I'm telling you, man, I was
We
just
provide free
I was
t-shirts
walking.
at the
I had to walk to the
electrical.
stadium and back today.
Yeah.
At 12 o'clock in the afternoon,
It is
and I
warm.
was oh my gosh, it was.
Oh, it
terrible.
was super hot.
Anything to cool off, I like it. All right, guys. Last question. On Saturday night, while Texas and USC was giving a classic battle in LA, another high-profile war was going on. It was a big boxing match between Canelo and Alvarez and Gennady Golovin. It was a great match, but it was obviously controversial that one official voted 10-2 in favor of Canelo when it was clearly a Triple G's fight to win. So what's one officiating decision that's just been awful in recent memory?
I gotta go back to 5th grade when the Spurs were pursuing their title. Joey Crawford kicks Tim Duncan out of the game
I
for
like
laughing
that.
on the sideline,
good. That was
laughing
good.
on the bench. Are you kidding me, Joey
All
Crawford?
right, guys. Yeah, I like it. We gotta keep it quick. You got like
I'm
30
gonna
seconds.
Be real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either the 2001-2002 NBA Finals, Sacramento Kings, LA Lakers. Shout out to a great professor
Ooh,
at
I
UT,
like it, I
Steve
like it.
Willie. He got
Ooh.
a ring stolen from him by those refs.
Get that ring,
Sacramento got
Oh.
screwed.
Yeah, I agree completely, Kat.
Oh gosh, how about now? I don't have one by officials, but I do have one that USC claims that they have 4 collective wins against Texas. So that's just something that is bad.
That is bad, but it's not an official.
All right, well.
It's a tough decision, but I'm gonna go with Luke because
Ah,
my man
all
Steve
right,
Willie, I've
Steve
had his
Willie.
class so
Shout
many
out to
times,
Steve Willie.
and he deserves that ring. Luke
He
Henry is your
does.
winner. Fortunately, we don't have time for FaceTime, but we want to thank you for joining us on your Wednesday night. Luke Henry is the champion. Don't miss College Press Box next Monday at 9 for a recap of all sports news on the 40 Acres. We've got some big soccer matchups this weekend. Special thanks to everyone in studio, Master Control, and to you for spending your Wednesday night with us. Till next time, I'm Mark Skoll Jr. Have a great night.